For this adventure, we're continuing on our Idaho BDR adventure for Section 5 of the Idaho BDR. Okay, now.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
One of the things we found most interesting about remote areas of Idaho is that vehicles we would normally consider off-road, like side-by-sides, are allowed on highways. Almost everyone has one, and they seem to use them primarily for day-to-day driving. Elk City marks the beginning of the Idaho BDR Section 5, and we have over 140 miles until our next fuel stop, so we made sure to top off the tanks before heading out. Elk City is quite literally the end of the paved road. Just as we left town, the road turned to gravel. We very nearly went ahead and aired down, but then found the route jumped back onto a paved road for a few miles. Where we turned off the highway onto the road that would take us across the Magruder, it was quite obvious we were in for some adventure. Even though at this point the road was really nice and smooth gravel highway, we knew that at some point things were going to get a bit rougher and decided to go ahead and air down now while we still had a nice wide place to do it. The Magruder Corridor is part of the Nez Perce Trail system, also known as the Southern Nez Perce Trail. The Southern Nez Perce Trail follows along portions of FSR 468 and is a historic trail used by the Nez Perce tribe for millennia to access hunting grounds, village sites, and to rendezvous with other tribes. They primarily walked the trail for hundreds of years, and in the 1800s, the trail was used by explorers, traders, and miners to traverse around the southern part of the Bitterroot Mountains. The original Nez Perce Trail is primarily a single tread trail that traverses a fairly straight line through the terrain, which makes for very steep grades with few switchbacks. Eventually roads more suitable for wagons and eventually larger vehicles had to be built to provide access through the area. The Idaho high country is well known for rapidly changing weather conditions, and it was at this point we started to take notice of how perilous the sky was beginning to look. We did not know how the weather would impact the roads, but still we pressed on. We had miles to cover before bedding down for the night. And then the rain started. Lightly at first, growing stronger as we progressed along. Even in the hazy mist of the passing shower, the view was incredible. This would be just a taste of what Idaho would show us in the coming week.
Could be either.
As we made our way toward the Magruder, we started to skirt along the Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness. At 2.4 million acres, the Frank, that's what the locals call it, is massive on a level that is difficult to imagine. This is all land that is virtually untouched by humans for hundreds of miles. The Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness was named after Senator Frank Church, who sponsored the Wilderness Act of 1964, that protected 9 million acres of United States land as part of the National Wilderness Preservation System. With its swift waters and large rapids, the Salmon River was known as the River of No Return because you could float down the river, but it was impossible to travel upstream by boat. As we progressed further and further, the road started to become more like what we expected. Less gravel highway and more remote, unmaintained road. It had been a long day of driving, and the shadows were starting to get long. We decided to stop and check out Poet Creek Campground to see if it would be a good place to camp for the night. It's 4 o'clock.
It is?
Yes. It is. And we have campsite. I imagine if we go over there, there's even probably bathrooms.
Probably. Now that I stood up, I have to pee.
Yes, I understand.
We could continue on, but I've been noticing that the campsites have become a little bit more scarce along the route.
Yep.
So,
And there's not a lot of like spur roads off of this.
No,
Yeah.
spur roads.
Yeah.
there is another campground that's about 10 miles down the road, but we don't know.
Yeah.
You know, is a bird in the hand work better than 2 in the bush? You know, the ones we don't know. And cut. And
Oh, sorry. Oh shit! I forgot. I forgot that you had to put a camera on.
so anyway, I'm contemplating that we just stay here, make it a little bit of an early day, make sure everybody gets showers, have plenty of time for dinner,
I think that sounds lovely.
all that kind of stuff.
Get to bed early. Maybe we'll wake up early.
I'm going to set an alarm for 7:30 tomorrow.
Cool. Yeah.
So I think what I would like to do for the rest of the trip is 7:30 is rise and shine time. Try to be out of camp by 9:30.
Okay. That seems really reasonable.
So maybe even
I was
7.
actually up at 6:30 this morning.
Yeah.
And then there's water.
Woohoo! Running water.
Maybe you could use your crawdad trap.
Woohoo! Have a little something with our...
Or your sluicy thing.
So there's lots of level space here.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
This is freaking palatial.
There's lots of room for us back here.
I want to stay here. Can we stay here?
Oh my God, this is lovely. It's not really warm enough to
Swim,
swim.
but So close.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
So that was my other thought too,
Is what?
is that the later that it gets, the more these guys are going to start rolling into camp.
Yep, exactly. They don't see us yet. So far, they haven't turned right into this spot. Okay, it sounds like they're right. Now, so as you guys were pulling in here and following the trail, did it show you turning in here to this spot?
I don't know.
Because mine did. Like it has a.
Oh, the recording? Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
We'll see. I mean, if nothing happens, nothing happens. I've never tried to use a crawdad trap before, and it kind of looks like a hot mess, to be honest. It's supposed to be like all opening out, and it's like all wimpy looking, but we'll see.
Can they get in?
Yes, there are openings in it. They're all the holes, and the holes are pretty big, so we should be able to.
Guess you just got to see if any get in there.
We just have to wait to see if any get in there. I'm just gonna tie it on this log right here so it doesn't go away.
I don't think it can go far.
I don't think it'll go far either, but I'm just hedging my bets.
My daughter, she's so amazing.
She is amazing.
And you know what else? Luke does.
He does.
And well, I don't know if he likes it.
Perfect.
Very good. Have I ever made stroganoff for you at home?
You have not. Stroganoff is one of my favorite, like, childhood comfort food. My mom also used to make what she called goulash, although it was definitely not like a traditional Hungarian goulash.
Think about because that stuff is awful.
Really? Because I like it too.
Tomato juice and hamburger. Bleh.
And noodles. That was more like what she made. It was like tomato juice and hamburger.
Ugh.
Of course, my problem is the hamburger. I was thinking that, like, the Hungarian goulash is more like you're slow simmering the meat in a lot of paprika, and that's where the red color comes from, and beef broth and stuff until the meat just falls apart, shreds.
Now that doesn't sound awful.
Yeah, mom's version of goulash was, basically like a
Stewed
hamburger
tomatoes,
helper.
hamburger.
Yeah, it was like a
elbow
hamburger
noodles.
helper kind of
Yeah.
meal. except without the hamburger helper.
That's what my mom used to make too.
My mom is just one more way to the cheap onions in that plate. Swear to God, it's personal.
I would say it's just a lack of understanding. Because for someone who always cooks with onions, it just seems so strange to not cook with onions, and that eventually you just get used to it. Which you've proven is not the case.
Definitely chillier tonight than it was last night.
Yes, it is. It is chilly. Me and the heater will be one.
Okay, so it is day 2 of the Idaho BDR northern half, and we managed to put some miles on today. I got notes here, so I'm going to be referring to my notes. So we finished section 4. That would have been we did about 75 miles to finish section 4, and then we made it as far as Poet Creek on the Idaho BDR, which is on the Magruder Corrior. We ran into a little bit of traffic here and there. Pretty easy, fairly easy driving. Seems like the further we get into it, the more technical it gets, but still on a technical level, still in the easy. We haven't even seen anything that even looks like moderate yet, so super easy. We have done a total of 221 miles since yesterday morning, or yesterday at noon. So that's pretty respectable for us. We normally average about 60 to 70 miles per day. Now, we have had, today we had a fair number of either highway miles or gravel highway miles. Like we've averaging around 25 miles an hour most of the time. And then on the highway, even more than that. So that helps kind of push our numbers up a little bit. Tomorrow, we're kind of moderating our expectations a little bit more because we're going to be on more of the Magruder. The road's kind of starting to get a little like it's falling apart a little bit on us, so we'll have to take our time a little bit more, drive a little more carefully. We're only expecting to put in maybe 65 miles tomorrow, 70 miles, something like that. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, we got a really sweet campsite. I don't know if you can see this or not, but we are right on the creek. Plenty of room for both rigs, and nice and level. It rained on us this afternoon, so man, anytime you can get rain in August, that's sweet. So nice cool temperatures, and gonna be a good night's sleep tonight. Very good night's sleep. I'm excited.
and what was currently the best deal on the app. Your companion over there isn't so much. They're staying close to the home. Why?
This was very much a perfect camp spot. No crawdads though.
No crawdads.
No crawdads.
No gold either. That we know of.
That one we don't know.
I wonder if, like, that guy who was out there, you know, feeding the sluice box, I wonder, like, what an average haul per year for him is, or, you know what I mean? Like, does he get out 10 grand a year, or, you know, does he do that every day?
Some of them do.
Yeah. I wonder, like, is there a system to his wandering around? You know, because he kind of stops back by the same spots again and again. Like, you know, looks at this, looks at that, goes over here, goes over there, comes back, looks at this, looks at that again. I wish I knew what was in their minds, you know. Does their little brain move as fast as their little body? This, that, this, that, this.
Touch you?
Almost. He was like less than an inch from my foot. Like, whoa, dude, don't get that close. few things done while you were cooking dinner, or cooking coffee. Making coffee. He just grabbed them from between your feet.
Did they?
He did. He grabbed a big old puddle of them, and now he's over there standing up eating them.
Everyone's hoping I'll drop something too.
I don't know where the other one is. Oh, there it is.
He wasn't under your chair. Good morning. Start of day 3. I'm getting ready to pack up and head out. We're getting cleaned up after breakfast. I don't know if you can hear them, but everybody else in the campground is getting ready to take off too, so they'll all be ahead of us. That's a good thing. That's how we like it. Had a little bit of corrective math. Sat down, was doing some recalculating, and realized I'd calculated incorrectly. We haven't gone 200 miles. We've gone 146 miles. We've gone 41 miles of Section 5 here to Poet Creek Campground. We're planning for about 65 miles today to another campground that will be just shy of the pavement. Because when we hit the pavement, we'll probably have 60-70 miles of paved road to get up to Lolo. So our goal is to stop shy of the pavement today, camp, we'll get up in the morning, we'll run up to Lolo. We got some supplies we've got to pick up, and I think we're going to hit a laundromat, and then we'll run out into the woods tomorrow night. I think that's our plan. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, first we got to get packed up.
As we headed out from Poet Creek Campground, we officially started into the Magruder Corridor. The Magruder Corridor is considered one of the most remote roads in the lower 48 states because it passes through a narrow corridor between the Selway Bitterroot Wilderness and the Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness. Both are among the largest of the American wilderness areas. At times in the middle of the corridor, you could be as much as 80 miles from the nearest civilization. It can feel very isolating, especially considering that the further away from civilization we got, the fewer vehicles we encountered. At this point, we found ourselves wandering with the adventure bikes and the side-by-sides.
I see it.
Roll forward a little bit.
She's just browsing. Not a care in the world. Keep going.
With as burned out and open as the areas we drove through seemed to be, we were surprised we didn't see more wildlife. Such vast areas and so much green and low brush cover, very likely an overwhelming amount of wildlife watched us pass by that we never even noticed. You've no doubt noticed that much of the forests are completely burned out. Millions of acres have been burned over the years as part of a forestry management experiment. In the vast areas of the Frank and the Bitterroot wilderness areas, forest managers have decided to let wildfires run their natural course as part of the life cycle of the forest. Everything you're seeing here is just a part of that natural cycle, but through the destruction of the forest, the vegetation, and eventually a new forest will naturally rise in its place, a healthier forest, and the life cycle continues. We've come to appreciate getting to see all parts of the natural forest cycle. Even in the burned out areas, there's beauty to be found. It was at this point where the Idaho BDR would really start to test my mettle with rocky, narrow shelf roads. It may not feel like much, but for an aquaphobe, this was a pretty challenging stretch of road to remain in the passenger seat, looking down at what felt like certain death, all while the van is rocking and rolling, and not in a party all night kind of way. Little did I know, compared to where we were headed this week, this little edge road was nothing. if you can see it or not, but that's where we're headed. All the way down and then all the way back up again. elevation here?
8255.
Still not the highest we've been in Idaho. Everywhere we went, every mountain we crossed, we would pop up on top and just see more mountains. Such incredible views, such an incredible landscape. This experience reminds us of how small and insignificant we are, yet these are the parts of Idaho that few people will ever get to see. And this is why we do what we do. It was in about this area where we passed the tragic namesake of this route. The Magruder Corridor is named after a freighter in the mid to late 1800s named Lloyd Magruder. Magruder made his living hauling goods between Virginia City, Montana, and Lewiston, Idaho along the southern Nez Perce Trail. Magruder had just made a tidy sum of gold selling supplies to miners and settlers in Virginia City and was headed back across the Nez Perce Trail in the company of a few strangers they'd met along the way. It was near this very spot where the party had stopped for the night, and the strangers ambushed and killed Magruder and his 4 employees and threw their bodies over the ledge. The marauders were later caught in San Francisco and brought back to Lewiston, Idaho to face justice. They would become the first legal executions in the Idaho Territory.
This feels very corridory.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm doing a slalom. It's like skiing down the hill. Zoo, zoo, zoo.
As we dropped down out of the mountains, we followed along the Nez Perce fork of the Bitterroot River, where we were treated to even more of Idaho's incredible beauty. It was at this point where we realized that the memories we were building of traveling the Magruder were nearly complete.
Set out on the open road, same old place you always used to go when you were younger. Speeding through a 50 song like your dad before. You didn't even notice. The old man with the silver hair sitting in his rocking chair. Soon you'll be there. Although it's easy to remember, it's as easy to forget that it leaves you feeling down and filled with some regrets. All this trick of the memory, we call them good old days. Although sweet in the moment, it's poison for you. Same old tune as you heard before. You even knew the language. With every line it brought you back to where the summer never ended.
The further down the mountain we went, the more and more improved the road became. Soon we found ourselves on pavement. Almost seemingly effortlessly, we'd knocked out 60 miles, and it was only 2:30 in the afternoon. Being way ahead of schedule, we decided to reward ourselves and aired up and beat feet on into Lolo, Montana for a hot shower, laundry, and getting some incredible grub at the award-winning Lolo Creek Steakhouse. We also decided to get a room for the night and get some good sleep. Little did we know, we'd be needing it on the next leg of our journey, but you'll have to tune in to the next episode for that. If you've made it this far, why not give us a thumbs up? Even better yet, leave us a question or comment. We love interacting with our followers. If you've enjoyed this video, you should consider hitting that subscribe button, and while you're at it, hit the bell as well. That way you'll be notified whenever we post new content, because we're not the kind of YouTubers who post content regularly. Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope to see you on the next adventure, where we would take our van along the historic journey of Lewis and Clark and the Lolo Motorway.
Ready to abandon it and just try to find a pub or something, but this is... Can I tip my vegetables? I just did that without like even thinking, and I'm like, Lisa? Like, dude, I have no manners. I'm not ready for prime time.
I'm gonna put that bite in your ear. And he's looking. That is definitely not making your taste better. Can you see the sign?
I
saw the sign.
Can you see the sign?
I don't know. Where is it? Is it behind you?
I don't know. I mean,
It's
yes,
so small.
behind us.
There it is, right there, right there.
Okay,
You're
you see
good,
it?
right there.
Okay,
You're good,
okay,
right there.
stay right here. All right, cool.
Cool. All right, here we go.
Here we
And
go.
1, 2, 3.